Welcome to Remnant Online Followers. Please kindly subscribe. Thank you.
The first thing I want to look at under this, studying sleep, spiritual sleep. Why does the devil want you asleep? Why? Why does the devil pay so much price to keep you asleep? Because it takes a lot to keep a warrior sleeping. Because we were created as warriors. We were created as kings. We were created in the order and in the class of God. It takes a lot to keep a warrior sleeping. Why does the devil go through the pain and spend so much resources to keep you asleep? I'll give you 3 reasons. Number 1, because his programs can only be instituted when you are asleep. When you are awake, the agenda of the devil is truncated. The devil cannot work if we are awake. The Bible said, why men slept, it said the enemy came and sowed tares amongst the wheat. The grasses cannot be planted when you are awake. Now, the Bible said before we were formed in our mother's womb, it said God knew us. He ordained us for a specific purpose. Now, what the Bible is talking about is the reality that took place before earth was created. And so before the foundation of the earth was created, God sat down and he knew everyone that walk on the face of the earth in the dispensations that walk. And so the way God sends his own errand is through men. And so when he was injecting you into your mother's womb, allocating you into your generation, there is an errand injected in your spirit. Imagine before time began, God sat down and God knew your own lineage. Imagine how many people has come out of your own lineage. Your lineage alone, you may be the 100th generation, and in every generation the number increased, and God sat down and injected programs into every one of us, and at the right dispensation he transports us through the gate of the womb into time. And the devil knows that he doesn't have power to go into the studio of eternity where destinies are created, because the devil himself is a created being. He is limited. No matter how smart he is, he cannot pass into eternity and enter the studio. There is a place called let us make man in our own image. Genesis 1:26 is a spiritual location. It's a studio where only the Godhead is permitted to enter. Even angels don't go there, because the wisdom required to put your DNA together, only God has access to it. Angels don't go there. No being goes there. Only God has the power to travel back into time and enter into a studio that is eternal to couple you together. Your brain alone has more than 1 billion neurons. Your brain. And every cell in your body is bigger than the galaxies. One cell. And you have more than 1 billion cells in your body. Now, what God put together, the machine he built called man, when God himself finished, he looked at it and he said, you are fearfully and wonderfully. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, because it is only man that has the capacity to host God. Before man came, God was looking for a dwelling place. He said, where is the place of my dwelling? Even heaven cannot accommodate him. He said the earth is his footstool. But when he created man, he said, let him be my image and my likeness. And when Christ came to model the first man, he said he pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell. So the fullness of the Godhead dwells in Jesus bodily. And when you were created, the Bible said this is the mystery of the age, Christ in you, the hope of glory. So the fullness of the Godhead is in Christ, and then Christ is in you. Who are you? The God that the heaven can accommodate, the earth can accommodate, he is in Christ, and then Christ is in you. Who are you? Because the devil knows he doesn't have enough power to go to where DNAs are coupled. What he does is that he waits in time. And so when the man comes into time, what he does is that he gives him a sedating agent. And so when the man takes it, the man falls asleep. And so now he comes to edit the program of God. So he said, why men slept, the enemy sowed tares in the midst of the wheat. When you came into the world, you were ordained a prophet. But while you were sleeping, the devil changed your destiny and turned you to a soothsayer. You were created to come into the world as a leader who will function in the order of a king. But before you came, The devil went through your grandfather and programmed something because he was asleep. And you came, you too were asleep. And you gave him permission. And he turned a king into a slave. He said, I have seen abomination on the face of the earth. He said, kings, princes are trekking, while beggars are riding on horses. So there's an abomination the devil brings into the human ecosystem, that he entered into the program God created and he edited the program and perverted it. But the reason he had so much liberty to do it is because men slept. When the Bible said, awake, awake, he was trying to restore divine program. He was trying to reprogram what the devil altered. And so the cry for an awakening is a cry for the program of God to find expression. The first reason why the devil wants men asleep is so that he can inject his own program. He doesn't have what it takes to go where destinies are formulated. And so he will wait for destinies to manifest so that he can alter them. But he will not be able to alter them until men sleep. Number two, why is your slumber so important to the devil? Number two, the only way the devil can take over a territory is when men are asleep. Because when you change the program, there has to be a place for it to manifest. Be sober. What does that mean? Be awake. Be conscious. He said, be vigilant. This is double emphasis. Be sober. Be vigilant. He said, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, is walking about seeking whom he may devour. Be sober. Be vigilant. You have an enemy. You didn't choose him. He chose you. You know, you think the only time you can have a problem with somebody is when you have misunderstanding. Before there was ever a misunderstanding, there is somebody who made himself your enemy. The Bible calls him your adversary. And he said this your adversary has the character of a lion that devours. So he doesn't know how to show mercy. He is aggressive and ferocious. And his anger does not diminish. The propensity of his wickedness is ever increasing. It is natural to him to be wicked. He is moving like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. But you see, the way the devil devours men is not just to eat them up. It's to create a territorial program. So that when they are gone, even their children will enter the trap. Most of you, the battles you are fighting now is the battles your great-grandfather created. Because he needed money urgently, he went and buried a virgin. And because he did that, there is a blood crying against your lineage. When you came, you didn't know anything happened. But the one who devours systematically. And so he took over an atmosphere. He took over an environment. I'm showing you the things that the light of Christ will break off your life. That's why when you awake, Christ will have to shine on you. If Christ does not shine on you, the territory will still be in darkness. Isaiah 26. Isaiah 26. Look at verse 9. Isaiah 56 verse 9 and 10. See what the Bible said. I'm showing you some things that are happening overhead that we came into innocently, not aware. Now, when men slept, see what the princes began to do. They began to invite more wicked spirits. He said, all ye beasts of the field, come and devour. That's why I told you, the devil devours systematically. He said, yea, all ye beasts in the forest. He said, come. He said, his watchman is blind. They are ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, and loving slumber. So when you sleep, the demon that came to make you sleep will not do anything. He will now go out and blow a trumpet and say, if there's any wicked spirit here who is looking for where to take dominion and to destroy, come, I've created an atmosphere. I've secured the territory. I've gotten a chamber. And so even spirits that have no business with you, they will be invited to come. And so every spirit will gang up to make sure that destiny does not work. How do you see a young man? Him alone is a womanizer. Him alone is a drug addict. Him alone pulled out of school. Him alone cannot do any business. And every day he's looking for something to smoke. One man, different influence. How can that destiny manifest? You meet that person. Which one will you start with? Is it the womanizing you will start with, or the drugs that he injects in his blood, or the smoking, or the stealing, or the lying? So you see that one person is a compendium of problems because many spirits were invited and they are using that man as a gate to achieve their purpose. If Christ does not shine his light, that person is doomed. Third reason, why does the devil want men asleep? Because the cry of the bridegroom is at midnight. When God comes, he does not come based on human schedule. He comes based on his own schedule. And so the devil knows that if you are asleep, when God is bringing deliverance, you may never know. And so in order for you never to find your salvation, he will insist that you remain asleep. Matthew 25 verse 5 to 6. Hear what the Bible said. People were waiting for God aggressively. He said, why the bridegroom tarried? Because they thought it would be according to their own timetable. He doesn't come at your timetable. He comes at his own timetable. He said the bridegroom tarried. He said they now slumbered and slept. Verse 6. At midnight there was a cry, behold, the bridegroom cometh. The devil wants you asleep because he knows your salvation comes at an unexpected time. And so maybe it is when you are drinking beer and you are drunk. That's when the person who is supposed to help you shows up and is asking a question. But at that time you are arrogant. What he needs to see in you is courtesy. But you see, you are drunk. So you cannot recognize your helper. Even though he's trying so hard to help you, you are asleep. You are in the state of slumber. And because the devil knows that your answers will always come in disguise, he will make sure that he puts you to sleep so that you don't recognize it. I can tell you today, most of the people who are frustrated in life, they have had opportunities of intervention many times, but they didn't recognize the opportunities because their opportunities came in disguise. It didn't come the way they should have expected it. The devil will put you to sleep so that he can plant his program, so that he can take over your territory, and so that you cannot see your salvation when your salvation appears. Having said this, what is a spiritual slumber? What is sleep? This sleep we are talking about, is this something you go home and lie on your bed? No, it's deeper than that. There are many things that defines spiritual slumber, but because I don't have time, I give you 4 of them very quickly. Number 1, spiritual slumber is spiritual blindness. A state where you lack discernment. The devil takes off discernment from your life, so you cannot see anything spiritually. You see everything naturally, and all your answers come spiritually. It will take the eyes of the spirit to see your salvation. But you see, when the devil reduces you to carnal mindedness, he has blinded you. And when he blinds you, there is no way you can recognize your salvation if it comes. I can tell you today, even those who are in church, more than 70% are natural men. They are carnally minded. They function by the traditions of their fathers. You ask them, they say, we are Igbos, we don't do like that. We are Idomas, we don't do like this. We are Yorubas, we don't do like this. Your answer does not recognize Igbo or Yoruba. Your answer is spiritual. And so if you want to receive your answer, you must ascend beyond the threshold of the natural man and watch in the spirit to pick your answer. If you reduce yourself to ethnic values, if you reduce yourself to the systems that society have designed, you have cut yourself off from God's intervention. It is called the state of carnality, the state of the natural man. You can be saying you are Igbo, you are Igbo. Your greatest answer may come from a Yoruba man. If you don't have discernment, you will kick your answer away. You may say you are high-minded, you are a big man. Your biggest answer may come from a servant. It will take discernment to recognize the disguise of spiritual intervention. If you don't have discernment, you are gone. So most men who are asleep, they are asleep because they are blinded. Romans chapter 8 verse 9. Hear what the Bible said. It said to be carnally minded is death. It said but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. So when the devil wants men asleep, he makes them carnal. So a man can be driving but he's sleeping. A man can be dancing but he's sleeping. You know why? He's blinded. He cannot pick spiritual signals. Many people are going towards the UK. It doesn't mean if you go there you will survive. Go there if you are led. You can go there and be frustrated and run back, but your season would have passed. You don't have discernment, you will do what everybody is doing. It's when you start your own that the gate will be shut. And you will discover that even when you come back, there's no door for you anymore. Because the moment you left, nature abhors vacuum. Somebody else will enter. So even where you were standing, you will lose your ground. And so when the devil wants a generation to sleep, he makes them to become carnally minded. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 12 and 14. He said, we have not received the spirit that is of this world, so we know the things that are freely given to us by God. In verse 14 he said, the carnal man, he said, he receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God. He said, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. When you are asleep, you lose discernment. When you are asleep, you can no longer see from the realm of God. You know, in the last days, one of the greatest weapons of the devil is deception, because he wants to blind men. They asked Jesus in Matthew 24 verse 1. He said, what shall be the sign of the end time? What shall be the sign of your coming? What shall be the sign of the end of the world? And before Jesus answered, he said, be careful. Verse 4, Matthew 24 verse 4. He said, let no man deceive you, because blindedness will be the greatest undoing of men in the last day. Their eyes will be open, but they cannot see, because though they are awake, they are asleep, until God awakens them spiritually. And so when you find people going the way of blindness, you can tell that they are asleep. They can no longer know their help. They can no longer find their intervention. And so the first way to identify a man who is asleep is when he is carnally minded. The second way to identify a man who is asleep is one who is weak in the spirit. Weak. He doesn't have energy for spiritual things. When you discover that your energy for spiritual things begins to go down, know that you're already joining the path of sleep, and eventually you will die. You know what the devil does? He comes to weaken you from within. You can sit down and watch movies for 10 hours. You can be on Facebook and chat for 10 hours. But the moment you kneel down to say Father, you sleep off. You carry the Bible. You know what? Energy has been depleted. You are dying from inside. You want to find a man who is asleep. He doesn't have energy to engage God. He doesn't have power in the spirit. He can sit with his friend and gossip from morning till night. He enjoys it. In fact, he's in his elements. When he's gossiping somebody, he's agile, he's strong. But the moment you tell him, let's go out for evangelism, all his energy goes down immediately. That's a man who is asleep. If he's not yet going through crisis, it's because the devil doesn't have his time yet. You know, the devil is not God. He doesn't have all the resources he needs. So what the devil does is that he sets men on timetable. He visits men at different times. He said there's an evil day. There's an evil day. The devil doesn't visit everybody at the same time. Only God has the power to visit everybody at the same time. The devil's resources are limited. And so he waits for the day that he can do much damage to you. That's the day he comes. And so if you don't have energy for spiritual things now, you may say, come on, those things don't matter. It no matter. Look at my life. I'm doing well. Your timetable has not come. The demons are looking at you and laughing. They know you are not wise. Your timetable has not come. Your timetable may come 20 years later. Have you not seen professors? Professors. After laboring for 30 years, they are going home for Christmas. And a girl of 10 years is sent from the demonic coven for IT, spiritual IT. They are teaching her how to somersault vehicle. And a girl of 10 years stand on the road and does like this. And they cast somersault. And the professor, his wife, and 4 children dies. And then you are wondering, what happened? They were waiting for him. When he went to the university, did his first degree, did second degree, did third degree, they were waiting. No, it's not yet time. He now began to lecture. And he lectured for 30 years. That is the day his calendar came. And he doesn't have energy. If he had energy, maybe that morning while he was praying, he would have picked a signal. Don't go out. That one signal is more important than the last 30 years of his life. If he had energy while he's praying, something would have woke up on his inside. So when he stands up, as he's going, the power will stop him. He will want to go, he will stop. He will want to go, he will stop. Because signals in the spirit, things are moving. This is not the right day to go out. And the man will go back home. That going back home is the salvation of 6 family members. But when there's no energy, you cannot journey in the spirit. Different things are in different locations in the spirit. Your answer, there are different places. The Bible said he has blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. It will take energy for you to journey there. And so if you don't journey to where favor is, you may never find it. If you don't journey to where wisdom for financial breakthrough is, you will never have it. If you don't journey to where spiritual intervention is, you will never find it. And so when you are exercising in the spirit, you are traveling somewhere. You are traveling somewhere. You will journey. You will come to where favor is. You will wear it as a garment. And so 10 people can go for an interview. They reject them. When you come with an aroma. I wish you know these things by experience. 30 pastors can be preaching, but when you cough, everybody wants to hear. And then you are wondering, what is this? It's a power. You found it when you were digging into God. They say, with joy you draw waters from the wells of salvation. There are many waters there, but you draw it. You draw it. Will take power. There are certain things in God that you will press for 2 years before it breaks open. You are there, you are pressing. You are there, you are pressing, and suddenly the door breaks open. You enter, and then something happens to you in 24 hours that is more important than the last 10 years. And people look at you, they say you are lucky. There's nothing like luck. Anything you see happening in a man's life is a revelation of the location he has been in the spirit. Our manifestations are a testimony of our journeys in the spirit. When you go there, it will come out with you. There's a place where power dwells. There's a place where influence dwells. There's a place where wisdom dwells. When you go there, you come out with it. And when you come out with wisdom, you may be young, but you are older than your age. Because what you are operating with is ancient. You can sit down in your studio and cook a beat. That one beat you created from your studio, they will buy it for 10 million naira. It's not about your age. It's about where you have traveled to. You can say something that is older than your great grandfather, and men will hear you and say, by what spirit does he carry these oracles? Because your words are no longer words, they have become laws in the spirit. And when you talk, your generation must hear you. It is a power, but it's in a location in the spirit. When the devil wants to reduce the quality of your existence, he depletes your energy, so you can no longer journey. You know, the Bible says God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all you ask or think, but it's according to the power at work on your inside. When that power weakens, the quality of your life goes down. Although God is sovereign, he will not be able to do. God is able to do according to the power at work on your inside. If there's no power at work on your inside, God will not be able to do. And so when you find men who are asleep, they don't have spiritual energy. They sleep on God. Anything that has to do with God weakens them. And they don't know why their lives is up and down. But find a man who has found strength in the presence. He said they go from strength to strength. Every one of them in Zion that appeared before the Lord, from strength to strength, from glory to glory, from wisdom to wisdom, from power to power, from realms to realms, from grace to grace. And people look at you, they say, what is happening? You say, I'm just traveling. I'm just traveling. I'm just traveling. There are some things you cannot find until you go to Dubai. No matter how much money you have to go to Dubai to find it. There are some things you cannot find until you go to Belgium, China. No matter how much money you have, those things are not in your location. They are not in Lagos. You must travel to bring them. You may have all the money in Lagos, but those things are not in Lagos. If you can't go to China, you can't find them. And if you cannot go, you have to buy from those who go. You buy. But you know the disadvantage with buying, any amount they charge you, you will pay. That's why some people have to kneel down for others, because there is one who has capacity and another doesn't have. And so you will need honor to draw it from the person. You will need service to draw it from the person. If you are proud, you will die. Have you not seen our rich man? I want to buy a diamond of so amount of weight. They say you can't find it in Nigeria. It's only in Dubai. Bring it for me. Pay this money. You have no choice. You must pay. And if you don't pay, you too travel. And so if you want your life to be unapologetically successful, build energy. Build energy. Build energy. I told myself some years ago, I was looking for power. Nobody who had it will open his door for me. You will call, they will not pick. I used to be offended, and God told me, stop wasting your time. They have it. You don't have it. So you call somebody, you are angry. All these men of God, they cannot pick. Why are they not picking? Because they think they are important. Oh God, they have something. It's either you are patient to keep calling, or you too build energy. Alakoa, build energy. My brother was sick. I didn't have power to address sickness. I called many people. They didn't pick. My brother died. And from the day he died, I told myself, I call nobody no more. Anywhere power dwells, I will travel there. And I began a 5 years fast. Every day, 6 to 6. I break in the evening, I continue the next day. I break in the evening, I continue the next day. On one occasion, as I was praying, my wall opened and light came out of the wall. Light like a fluorescent bulb. That was when I knew that the wall can only limit man, not spirit. And the light entered me. The first layer of power that came to me was wisdom. And I could sit down and say things that people read and they don't know, because light had appeared to me. At another point, I sat in my room and I started feeling heat on different parts of my body. And as I began to inquire in the spirit, that was when God told me, your ordinations are waking up. You are a revivalist. You carry the flames of glory. And so what they were doing, they were charging me up. And as they were charging me, a point came when I speak, my walls became like balls of fire. All those things were potentials, but I needed to travel. That was when I discovered that in my lineage, people didn't have energy to engage God. And so the cure of the issue was to build power in the spirit. I was praying and the wall of my room disappeared. And I saw two creatures standing. One had 10 horns. The other one was like a corpse that was decayed and was removed from the grave. And the angel that was talking to me told me, these are the principalities that bind men in your village. And he took me to my father's compound and he started showing me people of different generations and the things they used to rope them: pride, humanization, drunkenness, and lying. He said, if you are able to resist these things, he said, you'll be great, whether men like it or not. So I discovered greatness is not a gift. Greatness is an entrustment. What if I didn't journey to where that angel was? How would I have known that my key for greatness is to avoid 4 things? But it will take power to go there. When the devil wants to keep you asleep, it takes spiritual energy from your spirit. See, somebody will leave this conference, you will tell yourself, I die on the altar. Nothing carries me from God's presence. You will be there, sleep, wake up, remain there. We hungry, eat, come back, stay there. If you are there, after a while, the fountains of the great deep will begin to open. Don't live there, stay there. That's where your salvation is. When you are there long enough, you will be summoned.
Thank you for watching. Please kindly like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you always get notified whenever we post a new video. And don't forget to share. Thank you.